I'm sorry if you can hear my air conditioning in the back, but it is too hot to turn the air conditioning on. Hello people who search the interwebs, my name is Natalie and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would try my hand at a story time because these are one of my favorite videos to watch and this is a pretty scary story. So this is a story about how the fire alarm went off in my hotel room, and I want to make this intro pretty quick because the story is really interesting. So before I start, you should definitely click the subscribe button and give this video a like and comment down below if you want other stories, because I have lots of other stories that I'd be pretty willing to share. Some pretty scary ones, funny ones, weird stories that I just think that would be fun and entertaining to watch. So let's not make this intro long, let's get on with the video. So I'm just going to try to take this video in one take, hopefully that works. So the story starts in Washington, D.C. We went there on a vacation. So basically my dad had to fly to Washington, D.C. for a work trip, and my mom, my brother, and I were in Pennsylvania helping my grandparents, so we decided to drive and meet him in Washington, D.C. and meet him there for like 4 days, and we were gonna go to all the museums and go to all the monuments and all this stuff. And I don't remember, I think we went for 4 or 5 days, and I can't remember which day this was on, but I remember that the day that this happened, that we just got back from walking a ton. We went to during the day we went to like the Space Museum and the Natural History Museum and the I don't know what the other museums' names are. And then we had walked the strip at night. So not like the strip like in Las Vegas, but like it goes from, here's the Washington Monument on this end, and then there's like 5 or 6 monuments in the middle, and then here's the Lincoln Memorial. So we had walked it at night. So that's like a pretty good like couple, like a mile or two. And then we had to walk back like 6 or 7 blocks to our hotel room, which was like over there. We had walked to like the White House. We had walked around all day, and we were so exhausted and so tired at the end of the day. So we went back to our hotels probably like 9:30, and just so you know, my dad and my family does not stay up late at night really. We are pretty early. Like my dad wakes up really early in the morning to get to work usually, so he's just like on that schedule. So he usually goes to bed at 8:30, so this was pretty late for him. My mom stays up a little bit later, especially now that they're divorced, so like she stays up a little bit later. But you know, it's normal for her. But my brother and I also don't stay up late because we have to wake up early for school usually. So we're just not night owls really, what I was going with. So we were all pretty tired, but like we wanted to relax a little bit in the hotel, you know, watch a little TV, brush our teeth, shower, put our pajamas on, get ready for the night. And we probably laid down around 10:30, which is pretty late for us. And I have like kind of bad like sleep insomnia, I guess. Like I have a extremely difficult time falling asleep, which is part of the reason why I go to bed so early, because it takes me a minimum of 30 minutes, sometimes an hour and 30 minutes to fall asleep, because my mind races and I just can't fall asleep, and I just have a extremely hard time, especially when I was younger. Like it's always been really bad, and especially in hotels, because I'm also kind of a germaphobe, so I have to bring my own blanket, bring my own pillow, and bring my own stuffed animal. I have to have like a stuffed animal or whatever, especially when I was younger. Now it's not like as bad, but it's still kind of bad. So I usually in hotels, it's worse. So it's like an hour and 30 minutes typically for me to fall asleep. And I finally, you know, fall asleep probably at 11:30 or 12. And around 12:30, all of a sudden the alarm like starts going off. And it's like beep, beep, beep. And it's like, this is not a joke. Beep, beep, beep. This is not a joke. And it's just like repeating. And it's so loud. My mom's like trying to like get me out of bed. She's like, Natalie, the fire alarm's going off. Get out of bed. So first thing that I'm gonna go through each of my like what each person did. So I'm gonna start with me. So I got up, I put my shoes on, I grabbed my pillow, my blanket, my stuffed animal, and I walked in my phone and my wallet. And this was probably in 2015 or 2016. So I had like a little 4S, like it did not matter. It's my dad's like old phone. But I grabbed that and like my little purse or whatever that had like my wallet and stuff in it. And then I walked out to the hotel door and I stood in the hallway. My brother or let's go with my mom. My mom grabbed her phone, her purse, wallet, credit cards, everything like that, and was trying to wake my brother up, and he would not get up. So my brother was asleep, like literally the whole time. Asleep. The fire alarm's so loud, like I don't know how you sleep through a fire alarm that's going like beep, beep, beep. This is not a drill. It's so loud, like I don't understand how he slept through this alarm. But my dad had to eventually grab him and put him over his shoulder and like carry him down. And this is a giant hotel in Washington, D.C. I think I already said the year. It was like 2015, 2016. So I'm like 11. My brother's probably like 7 or 8. Yeah, that's math. Yeah, around there. So he like puts him over his shoulders, and it's in the middle of Washington, D.C. So the buildings are like 16, 17 stories tall, and we were on like the 14th floor. So my dad put him over his shoulder and grabbed his shoes. My dad grabbed his shoes and grabbed my brother's shoes, grabbed his wallet, phone, we all kind of grabbed the same thing. And then we all went to the hallway, and we had no idea where the stairs are. So we were trying to search for the stairs, and like all these people were going like in this one direction. So we were like, okay, let's follow these people and go down the stairs. And by this time, it was probably 15 minutes into the fire alarm, probably 10 minutes into the fire alarm going off. And so we, like everybody else is on their floor trying to go down the stairs, because you're not supposed to use the elevator in an emergency. Like nobody is taking the elevator, and there's like all these rooms are busy and full because it's summer. It's like July, and so that's like the peak of like traveling is in like June and July. So the staircase is packed with people. People were bringing their suitcases if they had them packed, their bags, purses, children, they were carrying them, strollers, literally everything that they could carry out of the hotel room in case there was an actual fire. In case there was a fire, like we didn't know. Nobody was smelling smoke. That's another thing. Nobody was smelling like smoke, especially on the top of the building. Like I feel like you would smell smoke, so it was kind of like a little off. But like people just didn't know, so they were grabbing their suitcases. People were bringing their suitcases down the stairs, big duffel bags, computer bags, giant purses, diaper bags. Like everybody's carrying everything that they had with them. If they like probably quickly packed their bags up and brought it down. So we make it to down about to the 7th floor, I think, halfway, and there was a janitor walking by in the hallway on the 7th floor. Like everybody's probably downstairs by that time. And it was probably like 20 minutes in the staircase. Like, anyways, so the janitor was walking by the stairs, and you could see him in the hallway with his cart, like vacuuming the floor or whatever. And everybody was like, "What the heck? Do you not hear the fire alarm? The fire alarm is going off. Like, what's wrong?" And he was like, "Oh, I was just on the 1st floor. There's no fire. There's no nothing. You're fine. It's good. You can go back to your room." And so that was like a little bit weird, You just like see a guy who works there and didn't seem a bit alarmed. So then people were deciding whether to go back up to their room or to stay on the stairs. We decided to go downstairs just in case anything happened. But then like probably half the people on the stairs were like, "Oh, screw this, I'm gonna go back to my hotel room. This is probably nothing." And so then they're trying to get up the stairs while people are trying to get down. People are hitting each other, fighting each other, and people have suitcases going up and down. It's just a giant mess. Probably about 30 minutes later, the fire alarm is still beep, beep, beep. This is not a drill. Beep, beep, beep. This is not a drill. We finally make it down to the lobby. People scattered everywhere. Fire trucks, police officers, ambulance, paramedics, everybody. Because in a big business building, like a giant hotel, a giant resort, it's the same thing as a hotel, a giant business building, just a building that houses a lot of people, especially hotels, it automatically calls the fire department, because if it's an actual fire, they're probably gonna have people jump out of windows, and it's terrifying. It's like, I cannot remember. In history class, I remember learning about like the factory that burned down for some reason. I cannot remember. And it was really sad. People were jumping out of the window. Why can't this happened during like 9/11 too? But the building was like falling. People are like, they didn't know they have to get like the trampolines, so they had those prepared in case people had to. But they were like, "Oh, there's no fire," so they come to prevent people from jumping out of windows without being safe and stuff. So they get automatically called in case they have to do that procedure, but obviously they didn't have to do it for this. So they were all outside investigating the building. You know, we go outside and we see like the manager of the hotel. So my mom starts talking to him, and he didn't really know what was going on. He was kind of freaked out. Literally nobody knew what was going on. Everybody's in their pajamas, everybody's in their slippers, everybody's got their kid on their back because the kid didn't wake up, and then it stops. And so everybody was like looking at each other like, what do we do? It stopped. And then the police and fire department went in, they deemed it safe to go back in. And so we were like, okay, they said that it was okay to go back inside. So we went back up to our room, and you know, my sleep took me like 2 hours to fall asleep. And we go back up, take our shoes off. We kind of kept everything together in case it happened again, so we can just grab everything and go downstairs. And so it was a little while, and then I remember the next day it went off again while we were like getting ready to go, and then we were like, oh, it's nothing, and then it stopped after a while. Oh, my air conditioning stopped when I said it stopped. That's coinky dinky. Ooh, I hated that. Anyways, so we went on with our day. We slept in a little bit because I was tired. Like, we were all tired and cranky because we got waking up at like 12:30 in the morning. And then we're up for like an hour and a half or so. And now that night, we were walking back to our hotel, and the building next door had their fire alarm going off, and then the fire trucks and stuff were there. So we were like, that's a little bit strange. So I don't know what happened. We tried to talk to the manager. They gave us free night hotel that night and free parking for that night because you had to pay for parking because it's Washington, D.C. You got to pay for parking. And so they gave us free parking for that night. And it was just weird. A weird, pretty scary experience because I had no idea what was going on. I was like 10 or 11 years old, and I was like, oh, I don't know. This is the first time like I had like experienced like something that wasn't like a drill at school, you know? And yeah, we had no idea. They didn't know if like the kitchen had an issue. They did not know if like the there was a short circuit. That's what they think it was. I think it was a short circuit in the system. They didn't know if it was electrical. They did not know if it was an actual something. They still don't know. We don't know. Nobody knows, and obviously they're not gonna tell anybody because they don't care anymore. It's happened like 4 or 5 years ago. So now every time we go to a hotel, we always look at the staircase. It's usually right next to the elevator, and we always like try to keep our stuff together, like wallets and phones, so we can grab everything if anything happens. So it's just a pretty scary experience. So comment down below if you had any experience like this before in a hotel or in a building where the fire went off. And this story time was really fun to film, and I actually really enjoyed this. I love telling stories and stuff, and this is actually true. So yes, I have another story about a fire at my middle school. If you guys want to hear that, was again not an actual fire, but it's a pretty weird story again. But I'll probably combine that. I had a bully when I was younger that bit me. That's a pretty weird story. I was in a car accident, and that will be a cool story. So if you guys want to see any of those stories, comment down below, and I'd be totally down to do any of those stories. And comment down below any of your scary or weird or funny experiences down below. I would totally love to hear from you guys. And thank you for watching this, and make sure to click the subscribe button and give this video a like if you enjoyed it. I will see you guys on, I forgot to say I upload every Friday, Sunday, and Wednesday. So check out videos for the summer, and yeah, check out those videos. Goodbye, guys. Blah, 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 blah.